Welcome everybody, and today we're going to go over the Devastation Evoker. We're going to be going through the advanced rotation, some gear, some stats, and we're going to be having a lot of fun. I hope y'all enjoy. I'll see y'all in a little bit. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the rotation. So if you saw the first video, you should know the basic rotation, but this is going to be advanced, the hashtag type advanced rotation. So here's how you're going to do. So I'm going to introduce two things, one called clipping and one called chaining, and both of these things have to do with your Disintegrate. So if you'll notice, Disintegrate has the tick marks when you cast it. So clipping is going to be when you cancel the last tick of your Disintegrate, like so. And then chaining is going to be when you chain your second Disintegrate into your first one. And that's going to look something like this. I just need to get more essence. Alright, it's going to look something like this. So you see 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be chaining your last tick of Disintegrate with your second cast of Disintegrate. And you can do this when you can use two Disintegrates back to back. And the reason we want to do this is because what's going to happen is it's going to consume Essence Burst a little bit faster than it normally would, and that's really good when we're in our Dragonrage window, especially with Lust, because it means we can get a little bit more time in the window. So here's how it's going to work with Bloodlust or with Heroism. You should keep in mind that this is only going to work with Bloodlust. You only want to clip with Bloodlust. You do not want to clip with normal Dragonrage. So here's how the rotation is going to look. We're going to Lust, we're going to have Dragonrage, and for the sake of simplicity, I'm not going to be putting Shatterstar in. You can if you're more confident with it, or if you have a little bit more haste, but here's how it's going to go. Going to Lust, Dragonrage, going to go ahead and use our abilities to get more duration. 1, chain, clip. Disintegrate 1, Disintegrate 2 with a chain, and chain it again because I got another proc, clip. Chain, Fire Breath, chain, chain, chain. Alright, chain, 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 clip. Chain, use that last Fire Breath. You see I only had 1 second. Chain, chain, and then we're going to let this one go all the way through because Dragonrage is about to run out. So you see, if you're super fast with it, you're able to get an additional 6 seconds in Dragonrage with Lust, and that is huge. The way you're able to do that is you're going to do your first 2 Fire Breaths and Eternity Surges normal cast to level 1, and then you're going to use your last Fire Breath when Dragonrage probably has about 1 or 2 seconds left with Tip the Scales, making it instant cast, and it'll give you an extra 6 seconds. Now keep in mind you can only do this with Bloodlust active, you can't do it with normal Dragonrage. But in a couple seconds I'm going to show you the normal Dragonrage rotation, and then we're going to go into some gear and some stats. Alright, and now I'm going to go over the normal Dragonrage rotation. You are not going to clip your Disintegrate unless your Dragonrage is about to fall off and you can extend it with the charge spell. Otherwise, you're just going to keep chaining them together. So like so. You're going to go Shatterstar, Disintegrate, Fire Breath, Eternity Surge, and then chain your Disintegrate into Disintegrate, and then chain it again if you get a Hoarded Power proc like I just did, and then let it go all the way through. We do this, Shatterstar, Disintegrate 1, chain to Disintegrate 2, didn't get a proc that time, that's fine. We just Fire Breath, build stacks of Essence Burst, do that one, chain, and then we're going to go ahead and cast Eternity Surge, because otherwise I would have lost Dragonrage, and then Disintegrate, Disintegrate, make sure to get 2 charges before you exit Disintegrate, and then we're going to save those 2 charges of Essence Burst for Shatterstar. So like so, Shatterstar, and then we're going to use our 2 charges of Disintegrate, chain, chain, and that's going to be your basic Dragonrage rotation. All right, and now I'm going to go over another rotation, and this rotation is only important if you have at least your 2 set of the tier on. So I'm going to go ahead and put on my other piece of tier. And what our 2 set does is empower spells have a 5% increased chance to crit, and also increase your critical strike chance by 5% for 6 seconds. The reason this changes your rotation is because the buff does not extend past 6 seconds. So you'll notice if I do this, Fire Breath, and then I immediately Eternity Surge, it doesn't go up to 12 seconds, it's only at 5 or 6. So because they don't increase the duration past 6 seconds, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to space out your 2 charge spells at least like 5 seconds apart to get maximum uptime on this 5% crit buff. You won't be able to keep it up 100% of the time. It'll probably have like a 20 to 25% uptime. So the rotation is going to look something like this. This is without Dragonrage, by the way. You will not be doing this inside of Dragonrage because it won't matter, right? The 5% damage or the 5% crit chance you get is not gonna matter inside of Dragonrage. You will still want to fire them on cooldown back to back in order to get the maximum amount of Dragonrage. So you don't do this in Dragonrage. This is only for your basic rotation. So like this. Shatterstar, Eternity Surge, and then I'm gonna Disintegrate, chain that Disintegrate, and then I'm gonna go ahead and Fire Breath. And then we're going to fish for more procs for our Shatterstar. Unfortunately, didn't get any. We're still going to Shatterstar. Disintegrate. Okay. Then we're going to keep going. Keep on fishing. Getting very unlucky is what it is. Shatterstar, Eternity Surge, Disintegrate, Disintegrate. And then we're going to Fire Breath. And build stacks for the next Shatterstar. And you just want to keep your charge spells a little bit spaced out so you get maximum uptime on this 2 set. And speaking of 2 set, I'm going to go over gear that is absolutely necessary for your Devastation Evoker. And that's of course going to include the tier set. We're going to want to get that 4 set as soon as possible. That thing is insane. It doesn't matter what pieces you get it on. Just get the 4 set. And what our 4 set does is that empowered spells have a 25% chance to give us lust without causing exhaustion for 6 seconds. That is insane. That is such a giant increase. However, because we have the 2 set, our stats change a little bit. Keep in mind this only applies if you have the 2 set bonus from the tier gear. If you don't, then you still want Mastery, and then haste and crit are equal, and then versatility. After I got my 2 set, I discovered that Mastery is still the highest, and that haste is well ahead of crit, and then it's critical strike, and then versatility. The reason for this is because you get this 2 set buff up a good amount of the time, and 5% crit is no joke. So that means that in the stat weights, it's going to be Mastery, then haste, then crit, then verse, if you have the 2 set. If not, still go with the other one. Mastery, haste is equal to crit, and then verse. And other than our tier set, any other pieces of gear we need, I'm currently running with Furious Rage Feather from No Coup Defensive and Horn of Valor from Halls of Valor. These are our 2nd and 3rd best trinkets for the patch currently. Our best trinket is the Whispering Incarnate Icon. If you can get this from Raid, get it. It is absolutely the best. My guild is currently running DKP, so I'm not going to waste all my DKP on it on normal mode. So that's why I don't have it. It did drop, I just didn't want to blow all my DKP on it. But if your guild is not running DKP, or if your guild is doing like rolls, definitely get this trinket. It is our best in slot trinket. So once again, it's going to be number 1, Whispering Incarnate Icon, number 2, Furious Rage Feather from No Coup Defensive, and number 3, Horn of Valor from Halls of Valor. With that being said, for the gear, there is one more piece of gear that I have to shout out, and it's going to be Carnalex the First Light. This is an Evoker specific staff. No other class can get this. It is specifically for us. The reason it is so good is because, one, it's got high haste and low mastery. Like I said before, you're gonna want haste and mastery because you have the 2 set, or if you don't have the 2 set, it's still pretty good for you. And then the on use effect, you do a lot of damage over 3 seconds, and it benefits from our mastery. So the higher health something is, the more damage this staff does. I don't have it yet. I saw it drop once, but I didn't get it, and I was sad. But it's our best in slot staff for the entire patch. Honestly, probably for next patch too, unless they bring out something absolutely insane. This is our best staff, bar none. It is by far and away better than the next best option. Even on normal mode, this thing is better than any other mythic option. It is just that good. So if you can get this staff, get it. It's our best. There's no competition whatsoever. And with that being said, other than those items, what you're going to want to do is you'll want to get Mastery High gear with Haste Low gear, if you have the 2 set at least. And then Crit, and then Versatility. Okay, if you don't have the 2 set, you're still going to want to be running Mastery, and then Crit or Haste, and then avoid Versatility. And that's going to be pretty much the entire guide. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Leave any comments. If you have any questions, or if you think there's anything I missed, please go right ahead. See y'all later.